You got to turn it on.
Your mic down there, push your button. Push your button on the,
You're the only one that has that. It's not on. Oh. Hello.
All right, cool.
There.
I call the August 11th, 2026 meeting of the Park Board to order. Consider a motion for approval of the minutes from the June 9th, 2026 Park Board meeting. Do we have a motion to approve these minutes?
Motion to approve minutes from June 9th.
Do we have a second?
I second.
We have a motion and a second. Any discussion? If not, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passes. First item on the agenda is discussion of the farmer's market.
Before we use a couple of illustrations, the main thing tonight is to kind of just look at it and openly discuss what you guys think, what you like, what you dislike, what maybe you'd like to see changed. It should fit because it was done by a survey, with a survey and by an architect, but we still have to go out there in the field and look at things. We haven't determined the heights of the retaining walls, what the retaining walls would look like. So there's a lot of bit of work to figure out on that end of the things. But typically, if this layout looks good, and then you would make a motion to recommend to the Board of Aldermen that you like this layout and would like to move forward, and then the Board of Aldermen could choose to follow your recommendation, or they could expand upon it or deviate from it. It'd be, obviously, it's ultimately their choice. You kind of see how the picture, it's, that shade structure was just one they pulled off. We'll probably get more, something more eye-catching maybe, seeing what the vendors could come up with. I don't really know, but this is what they just pulled off and was able to put there. That's fine if you guys like that one too. It's really, it'll be up to what everybody thinks. It's, the shade structures, you can get pretty creative on them, so. We'll have some vendors come in and show some examples of what they recommend, and then you could pick from that. But that would be probably, depending on how much money is able to allocate, we're gonna typically start with the earthwork, the retaining walls, the utilities, stuff like that. So, utilities being power, drainage, so kind of keep that in mind. But it is a small space, please remember that. There's also the privacy fence that would need to be dealt with as well.
I love the concept, and the privacy fence caught my eye first. I like how it's divided, but looking at that, it didn't look like what the survey looks like, where it says 6 to 8 feet. That looks significantly higher, at least to me.
Yeah, it does to me too.
Is there much of a big difference when doing like one universal long, big shade canopy? Or is it the reason why you
I
want to
think
do
it's
like
just all in
different
your-
ones?
Obviously, the long shade, you're gonna get more shade, because it covers better. But if you want something that's eye-catching, then that's probably not as eye-catching. But when we get to the size for the sage structure, we can have companies come in here and kind of present some options, or we can just pull them off the catalog and look at them too. It's really fairly simple, but.
I think the longer ones would also be a better option when there's inclement weather, when there's rain or such.
Yeah, I
Having them
agree.
scattered like this, it's gonna have water go down in odd areas.
Yep.
Are you looking at bids for like actual wooden structure, or just like the canopy setup?
So I think the idea with it, we could do wood if the board wants to do some type of permanent structure. It just costs more. The shade structure, these canopies here were kind of just decided to help move it along quicker. And then maybe, I don't know, 10 years from now, we come back and take it down and move that somewhere else and then put a permanent structure in, or that becomes permanent. It's all whatever anybody decides. There won't be we won't bid out the shade structure right away unless the board wants us to get it all done within a year or something. I don't know how they want to phase it, how much they want to budget for it. So we haven't got into the budget numbers on things to see how it's going to work. That takes a little bit of time, but we've got some time to figure out a few things that are critical for the board to make a decision during this budget process.
The previous design that we looked at, I can't remember if it was early June or late May, the big structure, something like that.
Yep.
Did it have electricity going to it? Were we gonna put electricity outputs to it?
We plan on having power, some type of power there for the vendors. It wasn't really designed out in this. I know we have a 200 amp service, I believe, over there, so it will at least have 200 amps. So it'll probably be similar setup as what we have for our shelter houses, like at the large web shelter. There's lots of plug-ins, but it's not like you don't get a lot of several big breakers. You get a lot of 20 amp breakers for the 20 amp outlets.
So we'll be able to add that to this one as well then?
Yeah, so that's something part of the utility work, most of it we'll do through a in-house and then through the help of a subcontractor.
I see this is mostly conceptual, but is there any plans for like fixed table structures?
That's also a good question, because, like, it's funny how even when they show like the little
Yeah, those like
stuff.
just folding tables.
Typically, we would put picnic tables there. That way it's open space for anybody to use it when it's not being used as a farmer's market.
Yeah.
But that's something that needs to be discussed and have a vision.
I don't know, because I was just at the farmer's market in Lee Summit, how they built theirs in downtown. I know it's a little different, but
You comparing that?
I'm not, I'm just saying, they had that little open area where they had the building, was it Green Street, whatever, but they had outside where vendors bring their own folding tables and whatnot. So, I mean, thinking of dual use, of other people using this for other things too in the community, I wouldn't mind if they had to bring their own tables. Most of them bring their own tables now. It's part of the setup and takedown, and that way we can save it and use it for something else too. If somebody else wants to use it, whoever else down the road, even during Lick Skillet or something, I don't know.
Sure, yeah. I do think we should have some type of tables for the outside of farmer's market, so it can be used as just for the community so let's say somebody wants to stop and eat a sandwich or.
Yeah. Well, next month, we got Lick Skillet Days coming up. I mean, that's kind of a prime spot for people to be able to walk down their food and sit and eat and
Yep.
go back to it. I think having tables there would be ideal just to have multiple purposes, other than just the farmer's market.
All right.
So I can try to at the next meeting. Even though it'd be down the road, I can try to have some shade structure concepts that we can just scroll through and kind of pick from things, see what you guys think. But it doesn't really, it shows on this survey more than the picture, but just so everybody understands, where that lady's walking with the kid right here, that'll be one way in. And then you would drive around and come back out the other side there. And then that's got the little drive behind the shade, and that's kind of for the vendors to pull in and set up, was the thought on that. And if there's no farmer's market going on, then it allows maybe some food trucks to sit there if there's some food truck night or something like that. I don't believe we're going to be able to provide power for food trucks. They'll still have to provide their own power. The power we have over there would be just to take care of the shade area. I have not, looked into if a drinking fountain's possible. So I got to look at where the water supply is and that kind of stuff to get those details worked out. But we'll look into that as well. The stormwater runoff, we're kind of limited in space, so we might use that retaining wall and maybe try to capture some of the water by piping before it gets discharged to the ditch. or do the pervious poured concrete. So whatever's paved, the water's able to go through the concrete. So we might look at that. Just depends, whatever we need to do to maximize the space without using it for stormwater. They have a couple of drains that are shown on there, that there's no study for the water through what was done.
Is there any need for lighting around there whatsoever? I'm not sure if there are any light poles around there.
I would think it'd be good to do at least parking lot lights, you know, a few poles, so we should probably, and that's so easy now with LED that we'd be able to provide that.
I think having something underneath the structure for lighting too would be good.
Yeah.
Also just something that just stays on overnight.
Something that's soft, that doesn't
Yeah.
affect the traffic, but at the same time provide some.
Some visibility, especially if we're gonna have tables there and, you know, a drinking fountain and such. I could see that being where someone would go and try to do something, but the fact it'll be right there off Broadway, visibility for anyone that drives by and police officers, it's got a lot of bonuses in that fact.
Ruth Ann, you have anything that you think the farmer's market, do you know of like requests that we need to try to?
Well, are they on?
Yeah.
Okay.
Ruth Ann needs to explain why she's being asked this question first.
Well, because the Chamber of Commerce kind of oversees the farmer's market right now. And how do I say this? It's a place where people kind of come and go, because it's hard for us to get people who will commit to specific days and times. And it's free for people to come to. And we have limited it to things that they grow, things that, they produce. Because we've had a variety of people wanting to set up their flea market there, which we don't encourage at all for people to do. And we don't have regulation as far as baked goods and things like that. So it's been kind of a free come and go thing. It's hard to get people to say, oh, yes, we want to set up every Saturday in Oak Grove, because they kind of want to go other places where they have more people coming to them. Because they can, they will travel 30 miles away or 20 miles away. Anyway, I mean, I think it looks great. I
So,
mean,
as far as
we're
they-
not gonna compete with
No.
Lee Summit or Blue Springs, so. But for the folks who, I had corn, here I am, and they have it on a Tuesday. Yeah. I think we've kind of gotten the people to understand, hey, this is what we want here and what we don't want here. Does that help?
Yeah, but is there anything like with the site layout that you see that you would, that would help maybe get them to come, or is that layout, you think?
I think that looks great.
Okay.
I mean, you can tell the spaces, there's parking. I think it's hard for people to get in there and park as it is right now. And people park right up towards the street, so that, yeah.
Scott, may I?
Oh, yeah.
So last year, knowing this was possibly going to come to the park board, I spent several Saturdays just walking down there and kind of interviewing people that would show up and asking them, what would you like to see? And it was, all of them said, we would just like something, a structure or something to be under, so it defines what the space is. Because as you know, right now, it really hasn't. It's just been a pad of grass, and we've just made it work the best we can. And we all know that farmers markets are becoming more and more popular. If you see in eastern Jackson County, I mean, Lee Summit has one, Grandview just got a big one, Blue Springs is gonna get one. So we're all going to probably travel to those other ones, but there are people that won't be able to travel. And then maybe it'll grow in a sense that more people will start showing up. And if we all support it, then other people will come as well. But I think having a defined space is going to be great. And I'm just really excited of all your guys' input and work toward it. It's going to be also just, as Scott has said it several times so well, it's going to be a highlight when you come into our town because you have to slow down there to get over the railroad tracks. I mean, you don't have to, but you should slow down there. So, yeah, I mean, I think it's great. I think this drawing's great. And correct me if I'm wrong, tonight they are mainly just approving the layout.
Correct.
And this is gonna come back to you so many times because we don't have the budget to do it all, this year. I wish we did. I wish we had a park budget that we could just snap our fingers and this would be done next spring for all the fresh vegetables and fruits, but we don't.
What is your rough time frame where you think they might start doing dirt work or anything like that?
So I have to calculate some of the costs. So if, say, the Board of Aldermen approves this concept, then I'll sit down with Matt and we'll look at phase one off of what we have in this budget, because we've used the money and the funds in this year's budget, which I think is 35,000 off the top of my head. We've hardly touched it. So it's taken some time, but we took that chance by taking time by getting a cost savings, as opposed to just paying an architect to come back up with something like this. And I promise you, this is what an engineer or anybody would have done if you just had them come in and do a park master plan for a farmer's market. The site cost would have been, in my opinion, high, and then we would not had any funds to do anything this year. So if the board approves, then we can start working at, maybe looking at the retention walls or the utility work. But I have to work in the timeline with the existing farmers that are there, as well as making sure the board's okay with the Christmas scene going away, because it could be gone or being disturbed while we're working there. So there's those answers that have to be given to me so I know how to proceed.
So hopefully fall. You could possibly be doing something
Yeah.
in the fall.
Yep, that would be ideal.
So for right now, you're just looking for approval on general concept.
So that way, when people see somebody working out there, they know, hey, we're all working on the same
Yeah.
same goal. So
So we approved this one, they won't be looking at the other one, right?
okay, so here, keep it clear. This is just the site layout. If you don't get caught up on the structure, right, what people are gonna be underneath, this is just the layout, mostly the shade structure, that can be anything. Say the board decides to budget whatever they want to budget for a shade structure, and that's the total focus. Whatever they wanted to make it, that's what we would put in. So I don't have those answers. This is just the most economical version. That doesn't mean that's what it would be. It was
Yeah.
just,
Because I don't remember we motioned if we liked that last one or not. Honestly, I like this one, the layout and the shade structure 10 times better than that previous one we looked
yeah,
at.
the other one
So-
reminded me of a carport, and so I think it would confuse people pulling in, like, is this where I park my car to go downtown, or, so I think this gives more of the farmer's market feel. And then we just gotta make the board happy with whatever we recommend, that it's
Yeah.
still eye-catching enough to,
Yeah,
worth
I just want to make sure if we motion this one to go there, I didn't want us to motion like both of them. I couldn't remember.
yeah.
If we motion the other one, that
no,
one's completely off the
that'll be
table.
a separate budgetary item that'll have to
Cool.
get, plans come up with, and people know what you're actually purchasing.
The structure.
Yes.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, you're just doing the
Layout,
layout so
alright, yeah.
that Scott can start work and that then it'll go to, well, if you approve the layout tonight, then it could possibly go to the next Board of Aldermen meeting and then they would approve it and then hopefully Scott could start. And then it's gonna come back to you guys
Yeah.
again and again and again. It's gonna keep going through. But each time, you're advising whether you want it to go there or not. And then to remind you, which you all probably know, but I love to give you the knowledge, the budget will come, Scott will present numbers to the board in October, November, around that time, we'll have our budget meeting. And then the board gets to approve how much money they want to allow for the farmer's market this year. And it's a big buzz, and, you can express to them how you feel about it, and then you can actually attend that meeting and hear how much money they allot to the Parks Department this year. Does that help, Scott?
It helps a ton. And I just also add one thing, there's a potential, a lot of good things could be happening in next budget year, so funding may be very difficult. That's all I can say. So
Yeah.
that's not a bad thing, it's actually a good thing. So just can't announce anything yet, but just know that there's a lot of things that's going to have to be juggled, and then it should work out, so.
Yeah, very good. I mean, the Board of Aldermen and Women have heard the public that they want a farmer's market and they want action on the park master plan. So I can't speak for all 6 of them, but I know that they're excited to get things going too. And so they've been waiting for you guys to approve so Scott can get out there and move some dirt and everybody can see some action. And then, like Scott said, then you guys get to answer that when they call you.
Yep. Yeah.
Well, I approve the general layout. I like it.
I love the concept of the layout. Of course, with just the minor things we will
Yeah.
tweak down the
Utilities
line.
and structure and such.
Yep, but the layout, I think it's great. And
All right, we have a motion. Do we have a second?
I'll second.
We have a motion and a second.
Megan motioned, and then Anthony second. Was it, who made the motion? I'm sorry.
We got to say motion.
I'll take the motion at the first.
Okay.
second.
All right, we have a motion and a second.
I guess I said I approved it. Yeah.
All right.
That's probably.
I should have said the word.
Oh, you're okay. It's all good. All right, any discussion? If not, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passes. There are no new business items discussed, so we'll move on to the next item on the agenda. Is there a park director report?
Yes, I have some things to let the board know about. Some of it's all, or most of it's with the pool. So weekends only after this week, as all will be open. And then, we also were able to open this week, which last year we were unable to. So we've extended the pool operation hours another full week for patrons. And it's good because it's really hot, so. And then we have the doggy day, which is after the Saturday after we close. So that is September 12th from 2 to 4. If you've been to the pool, you see our loungers, several of our loungers are failing. And what that is the bungee cord that holds we've found a bungee cord as opposed to destroying them. So we're going to work to fix and see how well those hold. The new cords are thicker, bigger, better. It just takes time to lace all those loungers. And we still have funds in there we have not used yet to purchase some more loungers. So if you see the loungers, we're not giving up on the ones that look bad. We're going to try to get those fixed. Unless they can't be fixed, then we pull them out, so.
A few kids have asked me about the basketball goal.
So basketball goal, that is supposed to be, it will be fixed before the pool closes. But it may be just like one weekend as it's available. The story on that is the manufacturer changed the frame of the basketball goal. So when we ordered a replacement goal, the wrong backboard kept coming every time. So then we went around and from other, like Dick's Sporting Goods and other places, try to find the correct size goal. The problem is the frame was either too big or too small, and then you take the liability of it. So long story short, we finally got the vendor to sell us the frame that the backboard mounts to. And so when that comes in, that'll get installed and then it'll be done. For some reason, they changed it, so.
Is there any update on the shade structures on the playgrounds and such?
So yes, shade structures there, we have them in stock now. When we received them, we didn't get the instructions, and then about a week later, we got the instructions, and then now I've had staff on, we just haven't had the opening to get to it, so some of it's been vacation time, some of it's been the weather. I'm hoping that we start on it this week. So ideally, it'd almost be better when school's back in session because we have to drill these deep holes and then set these poles and pour concrete, but we can manage without too, so.
Yeah. That's for those 2 locations at the soccer fields there at Frick Park and the Webb Park location?
Correct. Yep. Yeah, so I thought, I made a mistake, so I thought this shade structure was the exact same shade structure that was at the pool that we put up. We actually purchased that shade structure through Westport Pools. So this is a little bit different install than the previous. That's why it's taken us a little longer, because I wanted the exact installation, because as soon as we got the product, I'm like, oh, this is different. And so now we've had to work through what those differences are to make sure it's, so this is a little bit harder to install, but it'll be just fine.
Awesome.
I think that's it. Dana, is there anything else you can think of? The puzzle night we had to cancel, right? Those are hit and miss. Sometimes people just get busy with vacations before school starts back up, so we'll try again. The dive-in movie was successful, even though the weather was bad. We still had a lot of people come out for that. Did you come? I think you
Yep.
did. Yep. It was, kids love it. A lot of parents love it too, so,
It's a hit every year.
yep. And then it won't be long, and cross-country will be run out at Ben Oak, and everything else will be going, so. Fall season's starting. Tractor pull's coming up too.
22nd.
Yeah, yeah.
Perfect, thank you. Liaison report. Okay, are there any board member reports? Do we have a motion to adjourn?
I motion to adjourn.
Do we have a second?
I second.
We have a motion and a second to adjourn. Any discussion? If not, all in favor say aye.
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 Opposed? Meeting adjourned. Thank you.